It's Homeboy. Thank you so much for being here. Lord, I feel so good um today. I feel so good today. Wow, what's going on? 8:19 scheduled? Nope. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. My good name is Homeboy. Oh my god, thank you so much for being here. Whoa, I think I did make a mistake while I was trying to go live. Okay. No problem. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. My good name is Omboy. Thank you so much for being here. Yet another day, yet another day. Today we're talking about should men make the first move? Okay, and I think this is like such a topic where like it's like something that's automatic, like yeah, but it's not really automatic because we are living in a society whereby uh we are living in a society whereby like things are so much digital, the gender roles have changed and stuff like that. So that's why we are gonna be talking about should men always make the first move. My good name is Womboy. Thank you so much for joining in. So I'm gonna wait for some people to join in here, but if you're in here, let me know how you're doing. Yes. mm. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. Hope I'm loud. Okay. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. My good name is Omboy. We are talking about should men always make the first move? Should men always make the first move? And I know this is such a topic where, like, for so many people, it's like automatic. Yeah, like the men should always make the first move. But in today's society, where like we have women fighting for equality, fighting to be equal with men, honestly that cannot be ignored right now. I know there is so many women. I have watched videos, women advising us to, like, if you like a guy, make the first move. Okay, although I think I have grown up during a time where, like, oh, maybe my village mentality, or like my how I grew up in the village, I have this mindset around like I cannot make a fast move. Like, I cannot tell a guy that, you know what, I like you or something. Like okay, maybe I can indirectly, but I can't sit here and say like I like you. No, I'm not allowed. Okay, not like I'm not allowed to do that, but like my whole ego and stuff will not allow me to do that. Okay, so let me know if you're a guy. Do you think that like women should make the first move? Do you think women should make the first move? Do you think it's something that men would appreciate if women started making the first move? Because I feel like men have always been the one on the receiving end of rejection. Like, men are expected to put themselves out there, like, you know what, and tell the woman, you know what, like you, I want you, and maybe you get yourself rejected, maybe you don't get yourself rejected. Okay, it honestly depends with like how the situation goes. Okay, but that's what we're gonna be talking about today. We're still gonna be waiting for people to join in. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let me know, how was your weekend? How was your day? How was your night? Okay, welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. My good name is Womboy. Thank you so much for being here. Can you like the live stream and subscribe? We're talking about, should men always make the first move? Should men always make the first move? That's what you're gonna be talking about. Should men always make the first move? Okay. I feel like approaching is not just confidence, it's emotional risk, that is a risk that men are told, you know what, you are the one who is supposed to make the first move. You're the one who is supposed to say, hey, I like you. You know, you're the one who is supposed to be out there kind of like chasing, not knowing if you're gonna be accepted or not accepted. Okay, so if you truly believe in equality, then what is it called, approaching somebody and saying, you know what, I like you, shouldn't be assigned to one gender. Okay, I don't think it should be assigned to one gender. But that's what you're gonna be talking about. Should men always make the first move? Is it wrong when a woman makes a first move? Okay, that's what we're gonna be talking about. My good name is Womboy. I was born and raised in Kenya, and this is I Am Womboy Live. So we're just getting started. So what do you guys think? Should men always make the first move? Okay, because I feel like when you're the one who is being assigned the role of, like, you're the one who is supposed to be approaching, you're supposed to approach someone and tell them that you like them, you're being given the responsibility of putting yourself at risk and saying, you know what, I like you. Okay, so should women also approach men and say they like them? Should women make the first move? I feel like men do not appreciate when women do that. Even if there end up being a relationship, or whatever, the sexual activities going on between the two, I feel like the relationship faces the risk of ending, because the guy is always gonna be like, you're the one who chased me, like you chased me. I feel like men like to be chasers, and they like to win. Okay, they like to feel like, oh my god, I said hi to you. I don't know if there's something, if you feel maybe it's different, let me know what you think. Let me know. So do men still have to make the first move in 2026? Let me type that. I think it's getting more and more risky to even say hi in 2026. God, because for example, like for me, when I'm walking around town and like me, I'm just doing my activity and somebody's just trying to say hi or like something of this, I really usually get really upset. Just leave me alone. Leave me alone. I don't like any type of attention. For example, I don't like any type of attention. But I have to agree that, like, having a man say to you that, you know what, like the whole thing when you're out there and the man is saying, oh, excuse me, can I speak to you for a second, like, how are you doing, I like you, and stuff like that, I feel like that's really attractive. Okay, that's what I feel like that's really attractive. But sometimes I just don't want it. Like, I am out there to do my business. Why are you saying hi? Like, why are you calling me madam, sister, and all of those type of stuff? Okay, do men still have to make the first move in 2026? And the reason why, maybe it's something that's automatic, like, of course, yes, men have to make the first move, but I don't think it is that automatic, because I feel like with the whole thing of like women being educated, we kind of like feel like we are powerful and we can also make the first move. But let me know, if a woman was to make a first move and you also liked her, would you feel that whole thing of like you won? Because I feel like men want to feel like they have won something. So would you feel that way? Okay, this is what we're gonna be talking about today. Should men always make the first move? And in any case, when a man doesn't make the first move and the lady does, how is the situation gonna look like? How is the relationship gonna feel like? Is it gonna feel like the lady have been forcing herself? Is it going to feel like, oh my god, you just force yourself on me and stuff like that? I think that's why I cannot make a first move, honestly. Even there's a time that I was on dating sites and I was just in there scrolling and stuff, but one thing that I couldn't do, I just didn't want to. I couldn't say hi to men. Like, I always waited, because when I put my ego down and I text men on these dating sites, it's usually like somebody comes back with, like, let's say you said, hi, I saw your profile, I really like you. And then a man comes back with like hi back. Oh God, Lord, I just feel so bad to be rejected like that. Joseph Edward says hi Joseph, good to see you, welcome to the live stream. Lion Tao says it's always been men. I've never seen a woman make the first move, but I feel like women are making first move. If a woman have ever made a first move on you, let me know. Let me know. And how was your relationship? CJ says, what dating sites you use? Hi CJ. The one that I used was OkCupid. I think I've used OkCupid. When I was still in campus, I still had some other dating sites, but those ones, the other ones I cannot recommend, but I think I can recommend OkCupid. But I feel like to be on a dating site, you have to have a lot of patience and a lot of grace, because most people out there are out there looking for hookups. And if you're not there to look for hookups, then yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. You just see most people have already written on their profile, they're just looking for hookups. CJ says never heard of that. Okay, look for it on the Play Store. Look for it on the Play Store. Guys, welcome to the live stream. We're talking about should men always make the first move. CJ, I'm asking you, should men always make the first move? Do you think men should make the first move? And in any case, when a woman makes the first move, how does that relationship look like? Does the man feel like, oh my God, you're the one who chased me? Like, no. CJ says, I haven't used dating apps in years. Oh, maybe you're in a relationship? So Lion Tao says, it's always been men. I've never seen women make the first move. If a woman made a first move on you, Lion, what would you do? Like, if a woman tells, like, she chases you, like she wants to sleep with you, how would you react to that? Okay. Is that where you met your fiance? Oh my God, you're usually all up in my business. Usually. Nope. Yeah. Okay, guys, welcome to the live stream. We're still talking about should men always make the first move, okay? So I feel like a lot of women say that they want confident men who are chasing them and stuff like that. But I feel like confidence is built by experience, and experience comes from approaching. Okay, that's why I honestly feel like men should be the ones who are approaching. Sissy says, yeah, I'm all up in your business. I know. Okay. So okay, tell us. Sorry, I'm off topic. No, yeah, you're just fine. You're just fine. But should men always make the first move? Maybe, according to your opinion. Do you feel like when a woman makes a first move on you, does that put you off? Does that turn into like, why are you chasing me? Like, does that turn into something of that sort? I think I'm so traditional. I just cannot, like, if I ever make a first move on a guy, honestly, I would just, maybe, for example, let's say my interest is just having sex with him, like, I would just do that and keep moving. Honestly, if I ever made a first move on a guy, because I honestly don't believe the relationship could work if I did that. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just my little stereotypes and stuff, okay? Okay, guys, welcome to the live stream. We are talking about should men always make the first move, and in any case when they don't, how does that relationship look like? Okay, so my good name is Wamboy. Thank you so much for being here. So thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the live stream. So do men still have to make the first move in 2026? Do men still have to make the first move in 2026? Okay, do men still have to make the first move in 2026? Okay. So I think according to my opinion, or like according to what I believe in, I feel like social media and the whole thing, the whole aspect about dating apps have changed the way we are supposed to look at approaching and stuff. Like because of dating sites and the fact that women, we are out there on these dating sites trying to make the first move. Okay, let me tell you, out there on those dating sites, you have to say hi, or else nobody will. I think the aspect of social media, I feel like social media have changed the whole aspect who is supposed to be chasing who. And I feel like that really messed up. Honestly, I like the traditional roles of men, the whole chasing and stuff, because honestly, that has me. The reason that, first of all, as me as one boy, the reason that I don't want to be making move to men is like, I just don't want to be seen that way. I just want to feel like you want me, not like I want you. Uh, CJ says, definitely not. I love ambitious women. What does that mean? Like, does that mean that you want women who can even make the first move? Like, you know? Sarah Washington, hi. How are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. We are talking about, should men always make the first move? Because you are a lady, how do you see that? Can you make first move to men? And when you make the first move, do you think these relationships work? Okay, I think I have this all tied up in my head, because honestly for me, I'm just looking it at the aspect where like the man is supposed to be the one who's making the move. That's just how I'm looking at it. um so I feel like women already choose indirectly through signals, attention, encouragement. When I feel like when a woman likes you, you really know. Like there will always be small signs, like little to small signs. She will not say directly, but you will know. You will know she wants you. Okay. So but so I honestly feel like the first move is not always what we always think about, or what the society thinks. It's not all about coming and saying, "Oh, I'm interested in you. I want you." I feel like a woman who wants a man, or a woman who wants you, you will really know. Like the small giggles, let's say accidentally touching you and stuff like that. There will always be signs. Maybe offering to, what is it, like they will always be signs. I feel like when a woman likes you, there will always be signs. Okay, but so still, guys, we're still asking the question, do men still have to make the first move in 2026? Okay, and when we are at that, because that's literally a general question, let's see the question. So why do women fear making the first move? Let's start with that question. And if you're a guy and you have a perspective, why do you think women fear making the first move? Why do women fear making the first move? And why do men dislike when women make the first move? Uh, Guys, welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. Kindly like, subscribe. My good name is Omboy. Thank you so much for being here. I normally go live every day, Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So always look for me around that hour. So today we are talking about, should men always make the first move? And I have a question on the screen. Why do women fear making the first move? And when they make the first move, why are men not okay when women approach them and like express, like, you know what, I really want you, I really like you and stuff like that? Why do men don't, why? So I am wondering why men don't like being approached like that by women. Okay, so if you have something to say, also if you don't have anything to say when it comes to the topic, you can tell me where you're watching me from. You can ask me any question. I'm literally here. We can be able to chat up. And this is not literally a lecture. It's just a normal conversation. Every other day we do this out here. Okay. So as I was saying, I feel like women, even though women are not, maybe most of us, we especially who grew up in traditions where like we are in this patriarchal society, and like there's a way as a woman you're supposed to carry yourself, you're supposed to be shy and laid back and stuff like that. So if you want a guy, you you're gonna be showing small little signs. Okay, I remember this time, but I think I was still very young. I don't want to say how young I was, but there was this guy that I liked. So, he came from Washington, I think so. Yeah. So, but I really liked him, and I really wished he said something to me or something. But honestly, we used to have conversations, but it was always but it was always hi, hi, like of course we met in a different setting, not in my hometown, in another place. And he was like, oh, where do you come from? Is it cold? Is it as hot as where we were back then? But honestly, we so I was staying at this woman's house, and he was also eating over there, so he had paid for some food thing over there, so we always met during dinners. Honestly, I just wish he said hi or something, but I couldn't say that I like him because, of course, I have my whole ego around being, oh, the guy is supposed to be the one who says hi. But I never told him that I liked him. But I used to, maybe, for example, walk around. Maybe I would go walk near his house or something. Thinking about it, I'm even shy thinking about it. The way I used to like wake up very early, and then I would just go and sit around somewhere near his house. Okay, but basically, I was just hoping he would notice that I liked him. Okay, but I feel like maybe for us women, feeling shy or feeling like you can't tell a guy that you like him, I feel like sometimes it can make us miss out on people. Maybe he even liked me. I will never know because I will never know because I never said anything to him. But what if he also liked me, but he didn't know if I was interested? Because we were already like, it was like a friend zone or like a family thing, because we were eating together in the same household. Okay, I just don't know, but I feel like if I would have said something, maybe, I don't know, guys. Welcome to the live stream. We are talking about should men always make the first move, and we have a question on the screen. Why do women fear making the first move? If you just joined in, kindly like the live stream and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. um Forgiveness is underrated says, who is this guy? Who is this guy? Now I'm just telling a story of a time that I liked. I liked a guy. But this is, I think, when I was still in campus. During my junior years in campus, I really liked this guy. I remember he came from Washington DC or something. Yeah, so we used to reside at the same area, or we used to eat at the same person's house. So I really liked him, but I didn't get around to say, because I honestly believe that men should say that hi or something, or like, yeah. Lynn Hendrick says hi. Hi, Lynn. How are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. How is it going? Great. How is it going on your side? New braids? Yes, thank you. Uh, Forgiveness is underrated. Imagine he's watching. I don't think so. I honestly, we even didn't exchange numbers, but we were always around each other during dinner or something, like every day, and we always used to have conversations. I think we always, because he liked working with non-governmental organizations, and I was pursuing what I was pursuing back in the day. I wanted, even right now, what I'm trading, community development. He was working with the community, and that's what I was training to become, a community developer. So we used to like bond a lot when it comes to that. uh you know, the little conversation of like, oh my god, did you go to this project? Yes, blah 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 blah, I'm gonna go to this project. But yeah, I don't think he's watching because I didn't even have his number anyways. Doma says, women don't have to make the first move. After all, I'm not shy, nor am I afraid of good looking women. Hey, you're really confident when it comes to that. Women don't have to make the first move. After all, I'm not shy, nor am I afraid of good looking women. Thomas says that he's not afraid of good looking women at all. So, but see, the problem is sometimes the guy, maybe he just didn't see me that well, like he didn't like me or something. But the problem is, where I see the problem is like the fact that you didn't say that you like this person, you didn't say and get rejected, honestly. But the problem was, I think I think I like that I didn't say anything, because the thought of even being rejected, or him saying, oh, I don't see you, like that would have really hurt so bad. Lynn Hendrick says, sorry I'm late, I was watching our video. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. So so Lynn or everybody else, why do women fear making the first move? I think I like Thomas's perspective. Um, so I feel like the idea that a man must always make the first move limits dating for both sides, and honestly, it does because, for example, and the reason that I share my story is not so that I can fill you in on like what goes on in my life on a deeper level, but no, but just so I can show you guys that because these are my personal experiences. But I think the idea of like the man always being the only one who can approach limits dating for both sides, because you can miss out on a really good person. Let's say for the man, he's 50-50, he doesn't really like you so much but he wouldn't mind, and then for you, you really like him so much but you're still waiting for him to make the move, and maybe he never gets around to make any move. Okay, so I think waiting for men to make the first move literally limits dating, or it limits the experience for both people, because of course I'm happy that I didn't say anything, and like we all both went in different ways. But what if one of us had said something? Okay, who knows? Okay, guys, welcome to the live stream. We are talking about, should men always make the first move? And I was just talking about a story where like I liked this guy, but I didn't say anything because I honestly believe the man should be the one who is saying something. So I don't know if you'll never know if you missed out on a good person because you never said anything. So that's why I'm saying the idea that a man must always make the first move limits dating for both sides. Thomas says, I wouldn't turn a woman down either if she approached me. It just has to be respectful and not pushy. Okay, but what if you don't see her that way? What if you don't see her that way? Like you like her? Because honestly, we used to have conversations all the time around the dinner and stuff like that, discussing different types of Kenyan foods and stuff. But it's really something. What if you don't see her that way? And that's the problem. Most women don't make the first move. On this is my perspective. If you have a different perspective, let me know. I feel like most women don't make the first move because you're afraid of being rejected. God, being rejected as a woman, it really hurts so bad, okay? But when you don't make the first move like I did, and I said, oh my God, I will not say anything. But you know, I used to like, let's say, go early in the morning because we resided in the same place. Maybe just go and bask around the front door. You know, that's how weird I was. Like, I really liked him, to be really honest. I really liked him. So I would just maybe, for example, if I'm thinking like he's inside sleeping or something, I would just go and randomly sit outside his porch or something. But see, that's it. Like when you like someone, you really like them, you're willing to push mountains up and down so that they can see you. And maybe unfortunately they just see you as a sister or as a brother and they don't see you that way. Okay. So if a man doesn't approach, he's seen as weak. Okay, but honestly, right now, traditionally, if a man doesn't approach a lady and the lady likes him, it doesn't matter if he likes the lady. Most men will argue like, you just approach her, enjoy yourself, have sex with her, and leave her alone. That's what most men will say. So if a man doesn't approach, I feel like most people view him as weak. Okay, but I just feel like most men, if they don't like you, they just okay, or maybe they just see you as a sister. Lucy says, hi to you, good to see you, welcome to the live stream, how are you doing? Why do women fear making the first move? Because I am assuming you're a woman. Why have you ever made a first move and how was that like for you? Okay, we're still talking about, should men always make the first move, and I'm giving my story about like how I liked this guy. I really liked him, honestly. Like, I would even see him ride his bike around and I would just get this shivers. I'm like, God, I just want I just want him to say hi, but but like I think he just saw me as a sister. But I think I like the fact that like I never said anything, so which means I was never turned down, and I can forever live with that fantasy of thinking about, oh my god, I can forever live with that fantasy and say that like he saw me as a sister and that was okay. Thomas says, of course, it would be a nice change of pace if a woman were to invite me out to dinner. It would be a miracle in Kenya. Oh my god, it would never happen in Kenya. Okay, it can happen, but I feel like that only happens amongst the elite. Okay, if you are dating any one of us shagla baglers, we don't make the first move, that's it. And most of the time we also don't even have the money to invite you for dinner. Okay, I don't know what would have happened if I would have told him, oh, hey, so and so, would you mind maybe meeting me at such and such place for dinner? Okay, I don't know how that would have turned out, but it is what it is. I never made the first move. But guys, we still have the question on the screen. Why do women fear making the first move? Oh wow. Doma says that the first move, women in Kenya would never invite you for dinner, which is literally the truth. Like honestly, you have to understand that like out here we are brought in a patriarchal society where we only think that men should make the first move. And if they don't, it's like, okay, bye bye. So if a woman doesn't approach, it's completely normal. That's the imbalance, okay? And I feel like that's so unfair for men, because the fact that you have to live even in that moment, I think we all have liked someone. I don't care if you're a man or a woman, we all like have liked someone, and then you are like, you really don't want them to tell you no, okay? The fact that we expect men to go through that and to decide to we expect men to go through that and to decide to like just go for us, tell us that they like us, okay? The fact that we expect them to carry that weight, I feel like, okay, it's fair because of course the traditional gender roles, but still at the same time it's still unfair in some level, okay? If a woman doesn't approach, like the fact that I didn't approach that guy is perfectly normal. People would say, oh, if he liked you, if he would like you, he would say something. If he really saw you like that, he would have said something to you, but he didn't, so he didn't see you like that, okay? And I have to just live with that, like, of course he didn't see me like that, okay? Lucy says good, okay? Why do women fear making the first move? If you don't mind answering, why do women fear making the first move, okay? So I feel like most women want to be chosen, not to choose, okay? Which is really important. I saw somebody saying, it's a lady, of course. I usually don't listen to social media advice most of the time because I feel like people are just saying things for clicks. But there's this specific lady who had said, go for the guy that loves you, not the one that you love, okay? Because the guy that you love, you're always gonna feel like you're chasing him, and that's not good for a woman's ego, okay? So when you go with the guy that loves you, he's always gonna love you, like, and you will just, I feel like a woman's love can grow. A woman can grow to love a man, but a man cannot grow to love a woman. He has to love you at first. I don't know if you guys, I know there's a lot of guys in here. Do you think that like a guy can grow to love a woman? Because I feel like women can grow to love men. So many women have gotten married to men that they didn't really love. It wasn't love at first sight, but after they got to know them, because I feel like women are emotional beings while men are physical beings. So there's also that, okay? We're still talking about, should men always make the first move? That's what we're still talking about. Should men always make the first move? And we still have the question on the screen. Why do women fear making the first move? Why do women fear making the first move? And I think the next question will be, why do men not treasure the women after they make the first move? Like they just stop holding you in high regard. That one says, I believe that well-educated and independent women are more likely to approach a man. I certainly don't have a problem with it anyway, okay? Maybe back then, I was still not even graduated. I was still in campus. I think I had just joined or second year or something of that sort. Maybe back in the day, I was still not educated, but okay, I see you. But also I think so, because I feel like well-educated women, they don't have anything to lose. At the same time, they're not looking for somebody to deliver them for their from their, what is it called, like for their misery. Like, they're not going through anything, which means if they really like you, they really like you, and that's what they're going for. Okay. So guys, we still have a question on the screen. Why do women fear making the first move? Okay. Also, for those guys who are like offended when women make the first move, why is it like when a woman approaches you and tells you, you know, I really like you, why do men get turned off by that? Okay. Why do what? Okay, I don't know if I can type that, but if you can hear this question, you can hear this question and you can answer. Why is it that like when a woman tells a guy, you know, I really like you, I really want you, why is that a turn off for a man? Why is that a turn off for a man? Um So, but I feel like right now with the whole thing about equality and all of that, if you're gonna talk about equality in other sectors, we need to talk about even equality in this sector. And I feel like men should stop getting upset or turned off when a woman tells them that they really like them. Because now men start saying, oh, if you can tell me that, how many men have you told that? Why do men always think that? What if women was to start thinking that way? Like, what if women was to start thinking when a when a guy approaches them, what if the woman starts thinking, how many other women have you approached? Okay, because I feel like men have this ego going on. I need to check the door. I'm really paranoid. For some reason, I just thought about the door. Like, God, I have to have the door closed. Lucy says, girl and a boy. Okay. Oh, so are you saying it's because these people are a girl and a boy? Guys, we are talking about, should men always make the first move? And also, I'm asking a question: why do men get turned off when women tell them that they like them? I feel like if men are allowed to express, but honestly, I am in that same category. As I gave you guys a story of like how I liked this guy, but I let him go because he didn't say he liked me, so I didn't say I liked him either. So, um, so also, so I feel like most of us women, okay, for example, I just gave you guys a story of like how I let this guy go just because I couldn't tell him that I like him, okay? So I feel like most women still want equality, but we still prefer the traditional dating roles. Okay, we want equality, but we still want you to be the one who is all up in our business, chasing us and stuff like that. Okay, and no one says, I also think that Kenyan culture generally look for does not look favorably upon a woman making the first move, something that is considered normal in the Western world. Okay, but you know why? I think there's a time that we had a discussion, and I was saying most women in the Western world, they're not there they're not there because they suddenly need somewhere to go. They're not there for a better life because they can already give themselves that there's a lot of opportunities that these people can have. So which means if they really like you, they are gonna tell you they really like you. So I feel like also the Kenyan culture and the whole thing patriarchy that have going on for years have really limited a lot of women from even saying what you feel and stuff like that. Um, yeah, so I feel like you can't compare African culture or even Kenyan culture to the Western world. Those are two different, completely different things. Lucy says, boys is up, love, girls about. Uh, oh Lord. Boys is up, love, girls about. Okay, okay. I don't understand what you're saying, but okay. So I feel like also men fear rejection too, but rarely talk about it because honestly, the way I was speaking to that guy and the way we would hang out, not hang out because we always met during dinner, and I think we were talking about non-governmental organizations. We're talking about communities. We're talking about stuff like that. Okay, so I will never know if he really liked me because, of course, we lost contact and like I don't know if he really liked me. Okay, so but I can only say if he liked me, the reason he didn't say something is because also men fear rejection. But maybe that maybe that's what it is. Honestly, like both of us felt in that direction. Okay, forgiveness is underrated. Says I just got blocked because I said we need women and women need us. Any thoughts? I just got blocked. Where did you get blocked? Who blocked you? I just got blocked because I said we need women and women need us. Any thoughts? Oh yeah, I think men need women and women need men. Okay, we always said as if like it's only men who need women. The truth is, patriarchy is the one that have always made it look like that, like as if this thing is not mutual. Okay, I feel like men need women and women need men. Okay, but for some reason, patriarchy always makes it look like that's why a woman couldn't say, it was so frowned upon for a woman to say that like they feel horny or they want to have any sexual activity. It was frowned upon. A woman could not say that. Those are not words that would come out of a woman. I remember, God, you guys, I'm gonna be telling you a lot of my business. When I was in campus, there's this lady. Okay, I hope my roommates don't watch my videos, okay? But when I was in campus, there's this lady. She became my roommate for a short while, okay? But I was still a junior in campus. If I start giving you my campus stories, you guys, I was still a junior in campus and she was a senior, okay? And then when I started living with her, one day she said that, and I'm gonna quote her. Oh my, she said, I'm really horny. And I'm like, how can a woman be horny? Honestly, I couldn't understand. I couldn't wrap my mind around, like, how can a woman be horny? I was wondering, like, how can a woman be horny? Because honestly, I've never had it. There's no woman in my life that had ever said that. This woman, I had only known her for like 3 days, and I hear her saying that she's really horny, and immediately she starts preparing some dietary thing because she was gonna see her boyfriend that evening or something. But I found that to be really odd. A woman saying that she's really horny, like women are not allowed. In my world where I come from, and as I said, I grew up in a village. In my world where I come from, women cannot say that. Women cannot say that they are horny. They cannot say that they really want to have sex. Women could not say that. But that girl, she didn't realize. But up to date, I remember her because I always see she changed my life and my view towards sex and stuff like that. Because for the first time, I heard a woman say that she needs sex. Something that you wouldn't say as a woman. Okay? So, yeah, so guys, we're still talking about should men always make the first move. And also, honestly, you would wonder, why am I telling you guys this? I'm telling you guys because the mindset that I grew up upon, and maybe this is to assert what Thomas is saying about patriarchy and the whole African mindset or like Kenyan mindset, like a woman cannot say anything, or like a woman cannot say to a man like I like you. Okay, you cannot even say that, because I feel like what patriarchy does, or like what we were told, is to pretend as if we don't want sex, like women don't want sex, like it's always to pleasure the man. But it's really not. And that girl changed my life, because right now I know that a woman should feel. She made me feel like she'd feel. I was laughing for the whole 24 hours that day, wondering how could she say that? Like, how could she say that she was horny? And she was pretty much confident with that. Okay, but also that would change my life in campus. That day that I met that lady, it changed my life, or how I lived my life from that moment on in campus. Okay. Lucy says, boys love girls. I don't know that one. Okay, guys, welcome to the live stream. If you're just watching this for the first time, can you like the live stream and subscribe? I would really appreciate that. And let's keep chatting. Should men always make the first move? That was this. I wouldn't be right to judge a woman because just because she makes the first move. I'm open to it in any case, okay? Because I think you are having a Western mindset. I feel like maybe African men are the one who gets turned off when ladies say to them that they really like them. Um, Bob says times are changing. Women should learn to make the first move. Bob is always straightforward with that. How would you feel if a woman made a first move to you? So you're saying women should learn how to make the first move. But you know, for example, you're walking up and I'm coming to you. What's up? Hey, my brother. Like, you know, the whole thing that you guys do, like, hey, madam, sister. I just feel like it's messed up. Lucy says, my boyfriend is my boyfriend is say I love pictures of money. Oh, you love pictures of money. Who doesn't love money? So what do you do for company when your fiancé isn't around? I have I have my family around. If I'm bored, I just go to my farm, to our farm, and then if not, like I have a lot of things that I'm doing. I'm always thinking about videos, what am I gonna do, um, of course, and also we spend most of the time together, like FaceTime and stuff. Bob says, admire her on the spot. Ooh, okay, bless ya. Okay, but yeah, so I don't know what you guys think. For example, that story that I gave you about the first time that I ever heard a female saying that they want to have a sexual experience or they are really horny. I never felt that. But imagine from that, let me tell you, from when I became a teenager, from when I started like becoming a young adult, I had never felt anything. Okay, I had never felt like what you would say, what women would call ovulation. Okay, but then after that lady said that, I started paying attention. I started paying attention to my body, and I would start feeling, or like I would start knowing, huh? I'll listen to my wife. I'm like, okay, around this time, that's how I'm feeling. That's how I'm feeling. But it's just, you know, patriarchy is so messed up. And I say, okay, I believe in men being men and stuff like that. But I feel like if you're gonna call for equality, we also need to recognize what patriarchy have also done to women, even feeling anything. Okay, even when you wrap your head or your mind around the whole aspect of uh, FGM, female genital mutilation, you look at like a woman body being seen as a tool to satisfy the men, okay, which is really bad. Guys, welcome to the live stream. We're still talking about, should men always make the first move? Should men always make the first move? And I'm giving my experiences. This is literally, you can tell me your experiences. So have you ever, the guys in the chat, have you ever approached a lady and then she rejected you, and how was that like? And also the ladies in the chat, let me know, have you ever made your first move and then of course it's something that you wouldn't usually do, but then when you did, you instantly regretted it? Bob says, I'm against patriarchy. That's why the woman must marry me and pay for my lifestyle. Ah, Lord. I think you're just being sarcastic. But honestly, I don't say that. Okay, personally, I say I am a product of patriarchy, and even my mindset, and even what I just told you. The first time I ever had a woman in real life say that she was ovulating or she's horny or around that stuff was with that roommate of mine. And to even think about that, like I wasn't allowed to think like that, is really disheartening. And the men in my life could always think like that, like they could always say that they're having a hard on or something, okay? But yeah, wow. So Lucy says, my boyfriend says girl, and boys loving love is and of money. Okay, let me just laugh. Honestly, I can't understand you, Lucy, but I really appreciate you making the effort. I am enjoying reading your thing because I'm assuming maybe English is not your first language. Also, it's not my first language, but yeah, I wish I could respond to you. CJ is just laughing. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? You should be contributing to this topic because I feel like anyway, Bob says, yes, I've been rejected before. One time a woman made me follow her to get food and meet her friends only to reject me. Ooh, okay. So, but I feel like the only time that a man should get upset if a woman says no is if this woman was trying to lead you on, like she was trying to lead you on, give you signs as if, oh, we are all together, everything is all fine and stuff like that. And then she drops the bomb like, nope, I don't see you like that, you're just my friend. So the fact that she had your hopes high is really disheartening. Okay? Wow. I thought I just saw a rat in the corner of my eye. God, I really need to wear a sweater. It's really cold. Oh, wow. Bob says, I'd rather be told not even in a million years than be led on. Wow, okay. But but also I feel like you guys, or like, I feel like men also misinterpret. You also misinterpret, okay? For example, like, and oh God, I am so sorry. In this video, I have to share a lot of my campus experiences. But if that's what it takes for me to express what or like to make the debate lively, then so be it. In campus, there used to be so many. For example, you're just coming from the village, okay? So this is your first time in a place where like you're free, you're by yourself. Yeah, okay. So something that would always happen is like there used to be always be like men who are maybe, for example, in their second year, third year, fourth year, they're trying, when first years are being admitted, or what you guys would call freshers are being admitted to the school, they would be all helpful and stuff, but what they would really do is like try to grab the fresh ones as they are new. Okay, but you as a fresher, when somebody is being nice to you, you're just like, that's how it's supposed to be, because you're just coming from the village where everybody is nice to you. Okay, and then are you trying to lead them on if somewhere down the road they're like, they really like you and they thought that you like them too? You led them on, but honestly you didn't ask them for help, but they've just been helping. How is that? Okay. So if you truly believe in equality, then approaching should not be assigned to one gender. So I see that, I see that, but unfortunately maybe that should be still in the next generation, because with this one, okay, as Norman said, women in the Western world are really more open to that, because I also feel like there's confidence in like a woman having her own money. So I feel like women with their own money can literally make that first move like that and not feel anything. When they get rejected, they're like, you know what, never mind, on to the next one. But if you're just a lay-lowing individual, helpless, romantic, when somebody says no to you, it really breaks your heart. Okay, so I feel like approaching is not just about confidence, it's emotional risk, and men are expected to carry that risk by default. Yeah, unfortunately. I don't know if it's unfortunate or fortunate for you, but I know most men do enjoy that. Most men do enjoy to be the ones who are chasing. Okay? So so why is confidence attractive but approaching still expected? Okay. Wow. Okay, I've always heard men say that, like, confidence, a woman's confidence is very attractive. I've always heard men say that. So why is confidence attractive but approaching but a woman approaching a man is still what is it called? Demonized, and is still considered to be like, why would you do that? So let me take that question for you guys. Bob says, confidence is attractive because no one wants to feel like they pressured someone to date them. Oh, okay. Yeah. And you want to feel like they really made that decision because they want you. Honestly, I feel like we always want you to look like only women wants to know that they are wanted. I've also learned, like I have also learned that also men wants to know that they are wanted, okay? Also, men try to act hard, but they also still need their affection and stuff like that. But unfortunately, especially for some of us Africans, okay, you're being, because I feel like how a child is raised and how the child is nurtured, what the child is told really sticks with them. So we grow up being told that like men are the ones who are supposed to tell us that they like us, and that's what translates into our relationships. Okay, that's why you see when somebody starts dating abroad, they start dating in the Western world. There's no coming back because honestly, over there you're being showered with a lot of love. Um, the women are really loving and stuff, like they are really loving to their men, they are thoughtful, they even buy them gifts for birthdays. Out here it's only men who buy gifts for birthday. Women never surprise their men for birthdays or things like that, okay? So, and I feel like that really makes a difference when it comes to like a lady dating a man in the Western world, because people keep complaining, oh, our ladies are being taken by old white men. You know why? Because these men are opening doors for these ladies. These men are thoughtful. During her periods, she's being treated like a queen, chocolates, breakfast in bed, all these things. An African man could never, even in his wild dreams. And I'm not saying that they are not good or anything. I'm just saying that how we are told love is. For example, growing up, like honestly, we are the five of us in our household, okay? And I have never seen my parents touch each other, to be really honest. God. And my mom usually watches this video, so I hope she doesn't get this far. Okay, you find out, for example, in your household you have like 20 children, and you've never seen your parents even touch each other, even like even looking at each other like something suggestive. You've never seen that. You've never even seen them like kiss or anything. For example, even when like for example, do you know most African parents cannot even share a spoon? And then you wonder, how do they end up with 20 children? God. Spare my mind from all the dirt. But do you guys think like me? Like, how do these guys get all these children? You'll never see them cuddle. You'll never see them kiss. You'll never see them being romantic towards each other. So Lynn says hi to you. So God, and it's hot again. So the whole aspect about like women or like African women wanting older white men is because of the whole affection thing. I think for the Western world, like affection is something that's supposed to be loud, but out here is like a secret. It's like something that they do behind the scenes. Because to be really honest with you guys, I've never seen them do anything. Like I've never seen even the sitting arrangement in the house is usually like, oh, the mom is sitting with the children and the father is somewhere in his small throne sitting. Guys, welcome to the live stream. My good name is Homeboy. Thank you so much for being here. Bob says they cuddle in private. Would you recommend that? Like, would you do that? Like, I'm assuming because you're also African, I'm assuming that's also your experience. Honestly, I wouldn't like that. Whereby like you don't even show your kids what love is, or like there's never any type of affection. You never see any type of affection in that household. Guys, we still have a question. Where did that question go? Oh, why is confidence attractive but approaching is still expected from one side? Why is confidence attractive but approaching is still expected from one side? Bob says, I will, but the woman is the one marrying me. I won't mind cuddling in public. Okay. But honestly, that's me. Honestly, first of all, I'm gonna tell you guys for sure, I admire the Western way of like laughing out loud. To be really honest with you guys, I like that this man really wants to hold your hand in public. Somebody is opening doors for you. is not ashamed to be seen with you. You know what I'm saying? And I don't believe that our parents are ashamed to be seen with each other. It's just like they never saw their parents cuddle or even be touchy, so that's just what they do. They really think that like showing your love or like showing that you love each other is disgusting. Bob says the thing is we don't want our women to be seen as indecent in public. How does you holding your woman hands, opening doors for her, how is that indecent? Okay, how is that indecent in any way? You're opening doors for her, you're cuddling her, you're even maybe kissing her in public. How is that being indecent? That's just you being loving. Okay, how is opening doors for a woman, for your woman? Okay, Bob says, oh, that, I'll do that. Oh my God, you're so unbelievable and stuff like that. You're so unbelievable. So why is confidence attractive but approaching is still expected from one side? So we all say that, like men say that, oh my God, I like myself, I like me, a confident woman. But when a woman is being confident and like approaching you, you want to shy off. You're like, oh my God, that woman is all over. If she can approach me, how many other people is she approaching? So if roles were reversed, let's say if you're a guy, you become a woman, and if you're a woman, you become a guy, would you still feel comfortable making the first move? Okay. Bob says, I don't think women realize how much a force. Okay. Okay, Bob says, if I was a woman, I'll be eager to make the first move. Okay, and see how that goes. Wow. Bob says, I don't think women realize how much of a force multiplier making the first move is. I know, like, I feel like I will never know, but I feel like that's a risk because you're putting your feelings at the edge of like somebody might reject you, and then you got to always wonder like, am I not good enough? What went wrong? Why is this lady not attracted to me? Like, what's wrong? Like, what did I do wrong? What did I not say? You know, you have to always wonder. So I can honestly see how that can be like a turn off. Okay, so I can only see how that can be literally okay, not a turn off but a risk. Okay, Bob says most women don't make the first move and they give mixed signals. I know, I know, but no, the mixed signals is just small signals so that you can be able to see that she's interested in you. So it's upon you if you're gonna make the move or not. Okay, a woman making the first move sends the guy brain into reset. Why? Why does a woman making the first move send the guy's mind into reset? Why would it? Why would the guy's mind reset? If he doesn't have, okay, let me read your comments. Bob says because it's unusual, he's likely to pay more attention to her. Yeah, because it's a new show, he's likely to pay more attention to her. I don't think so. I think men get turned off by that. I don't know, maybe I'm the one. I think it turns the guys off. Okay, even as a woman who is literally so self-aware and like likes her body, and she wants to literally, she's telling you like she wants to sleep with you. I also feel like that turns guys off. I don't know why, but I feel like they feel like she's doing that with every other guy. But a woman who is not saying this stuff, I think a guy assumes that she never does any of those things. But I just don't know. Bob says the hunter becoming the prey. Wow. That one says self-confidence is the first step toward getting someone interested in you. Whether man or woman, a self-assured demeanor is always beneficial and demonstrates strength. I know. Yeah, and it also demonstrates that like you literally know what you're doing with your life. I'm not coming into somebody's life, somebody who um, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. They have a lot of self-doubt and stuff. But I think we are always confident. Most of us are always confident when we are out in public. But when you really get to know us in private, we are confident, but like you're also experiencing problems, or like you're experiencing challenges like any other person. But I feel like I agree with you, the whole self-confidence, even on a man, for me, when I see a man who is very self-confident, that's attractive. Bob says, and it sends an unmistakable signal. Oh, okay. Yeah, instead of you thinking that this girl is leading you on just by telling you that you look good or something, Bob says, maybe I don't speak for all men, but every time a woman has approached me, first, even the ones I wasn't interested in, I found it impressive. Oh, wow. Okay. So the ones that you were not interested in, how do you tell them no, like, I don't see you like that? Okay. Okay, wow. I have never made a fast move. As I told you guys, the only, and also I have never been like, for example, if I ever make a fast move, let's say maybe I just want sexual relations and nothing to do with physical. So I don't know how that feels like. And also I've never been still told a guy that I like him and he rejected, because I I think I have my ego so high. But maybe also, maybe because the men around, or the men that I attract, maybe they are men enough to tell me that they like me or stuff. I don't know. Um, so if he doesn't approach, does that mean he's not good enough, or just protecting his peace? Bob says, I always made sure to tell them it was impressive, so they do that to the love of their life. Ah, okay, okay. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, wow. If he doesn't approach, does that mean he's not good enough, or just protecting his peace? So if a man, let's say he likes you, but he doesn't approach, what does that mean? What should you translate that to be? Okay, if you're watching these guys and you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. God, I would really appreciate that. I would really appreciate that. Anyway, uh so if he doesn't approach, does that mean he's not good enough, or just protecting his peace? I think if a man doesn't, and this is just my village mentality, okay? I feel like if a man doesn't approach, he's most probably not interested. That's just what I think. Okay, because I feel like when a man really, let's say, is interested, he doesn't care about his ego being hurt. First of all, the thing that he cares about is like, oh my god, I really need to get my interest out there. Okay, so if a guy doesn't approach, if he doesn't approach, does that mean he's not good enough, for just protecting his peace? Guys, remember we are talking about, should men always make the first move? Should all men always make the first move? Faricia says, hello, baby girl. Hello to you. Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Do you, what do you think when it comes to like, should men always make the first move? Should men always make the first move? And also, have you ever made a first move? Bob said, most likely protecting his peace. Bob says, like the guy could be interested but broke. Oh, okay. And I also feel like that's also something that men usually do. Let's say he's interested in a woman and then he feels like this woman is literally high maintenance. And then he's like, I really don't want to put myself in that scenario. Let me just look from a distance, okay? Okay. Guys, welcome to the live stream. We are still talking about should men always make the first move? Should a man always make the first move? So if he doesn't approach, does that mean he's not good enough or just protecting his peace? Bob have said most men don't approach because if they feel like if he's broke and maybe the lady is high maintenance or something. Bob says, not me though. The women will be the ones spending on me. I think you've always been consistent with that, or that the women will always be the one who are spending on you. Okay, so I feel like modern dating has changed. We can't still use old rules in a new social world. Let me type that. I think that's what it is. Okay, I feel like most of us, we are still using the traditional dating. Okay, we want equality, we want a modern society, but still we want to use the traditional dating. Okay, that's what we want to do. Like we are still stuck back in the day. When the society changes or when things update, I'm curious, for those people who are older, like do you feel like men used to open doors for women? Because I know in Africa it's pretty recent. God. You see, even the way, like, I see, and that's what makes me think that, like, the Western world is really impressive when it comes to love, okay? You see, like, the way you for example, a woman is struggling to do something, let's say, cut something, and then the guy just tells you, oh, I got it. I feel like that's really impressive, because out here, a man will literally watch a woman do the hardest chore that there can ever be, but he will not say anything because of he's like, okay. But the whole thing that I see with the Western world, like when a woman is doing a chore that they think like is really difficult for her, you'll just see a random man, he's not even her man, saying, oh, I got it. And that's really impressive to me. So if there's anyone who is a little bit older, can you tell us, have men always opened doors? Because I know it's pretty recent out here. And who made the rule, like, men need to be opening doors and stuff like that? Because honestly, the person who came up with that was literally a genius. I like the way these shows cheer me up. For example, sometimes I'll even start the show and I'm not feeling any of this. I'm not feeling like I am even not like forcing myself to come on here, but I think I've created a community here where, like, I feel like we are having a family meeting at the end of the day, which we always have. Okay, yeah, I like what this show does for me, honestly. Even if it doesn't touch anybody else's life, it touches mine. Bob says not. Lova says, love at first sight, that is not impossible. Love at first sight, that's not impossible. I know. I know. Okay, honestly, I feel like I want to say like love at first sight, but also I feel like it's like lust at first sight. For most people, it's not love at first sight, it's lust at first sight. Because you can't love someone you can love a person that you don't know. That has to be lust at first sight. I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. But I think it has to be lust at first sight. Modern dating has changed. We still we can't still use, oh my god, how did I type all of that nonsense there? But you guys, modern dating has changed, we can still use old rules in a new social world. Bob says, I'm manifesting it into existence. I know you always talk about it. Bob says, there is also the rule of men walking closer to incoming traffic. Oh, okay, that's another one. That's another one that's literally so that he can protect. How do you find that one? How do you find the rule of and maybe I'm asking this because for most Africans they don't believe in that, like the whole opening doors and also walking when you're walking with your lady, the lady you're supposed to be on which side? You're supposed to be on her left side. If yeah, you're supposed to be on her left side so that you can protect her from incoming traffic or something. Okay, you know, I think I really like that. I really like that because it honestly makes me see that, like, oh my god, this person really likes the lady that he's with. Okay, I used those rules. When did you use them? Because of course you want a lady who provides for you, like is the lady supposed to be the one holding your hands? um So I honestly feel like we want equality as women, but only when it benefits us. When it puts us in a position where, like, no, you have to be vulnerable, you have to be expressing your love for a man, you have to tell a man that, oh, you know, I really like you, I want to be around you. When you have to do that, it suddenly it just becomes so uncomfortable for most people. Okay, guys, if you just joined in, my good name is Wamboy. Thank you so much for being here. Kindly like, subscribe, would really appreciate that. Bob says, in reality you look like a simp. No, you don't look like a simp. You know, I don't think you look like a simp. You just look like a man who loves. But I feel like this is better when it comes to like your fiance or your wife, because that is more permanent and it's like, yeah, I have no problem showing that I'm into my wife. And I feel like that's the mindset that most Africans do have, like, oh my god, that's simping, that's simping. It's really not. Showing your wife that you like her, you love her, is that simping? There's also carrying extra handkerchief. I was not up to date with that one. Okay, as someone who used to do that, except she's your wife, she'll see you as a simp. Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Okay. So I feel like most people do want equality, but only when it benefits them. Okay, we want equality when it gives us a chance to work. We want equality when it gives us a chance to like be equal and stuff like that. But when it comes to the uncomfortable things, like risking your ego being hurt, you feeling rejected, we don't want to stand on that. We don't want to get into that position. The one says, I met my current girlfriend in a WhatsApp group. She caught my eye, so I messaged her, and we are still together. She caught your eye. That's what it is. You didn't love her at first sight. She caught your eye, which means that could be lust at first sight. You liked her, like, or maybe you liked her. Do you think that's love at first sight or lust at first sight, or you just liked her? Okay. Lust is part of love. What if you don't feel lust? Is that a problem if you don't feel lust towards somebody? Okay. But I feel like lust, I don't know. I feel like lust is a bad thing. Because honestly, lust is something that drives you, especially most men, to just have sex with women and just leave them alone. Because it's like after you get what you wanted, like after you get that physical satisfaction that your eyes or you are feeling, that push, that like this, that attraction that you feel to this person, and then after you get that type of intimacy with the person, and you're like, oh no, I don't want that anymore. Yeah. Yeah, so also we can talk about, I think we can talk about women approaching men or men approaching women without talking about the fact that women are also approach men. I feel like women also make the first move, but for them it's just subtly, like it's unclear, okay? But of course, by what we've been saying, the signals, okay? So to be really honest, I feel like men have always been expected to take the risk of rejection first, okay? And we can't say that's equality, we can just say that's tradition, okay? That's just the traditional gender roles. Men have always been expected to be make the risk. Is that a bad thing? No, I don't think it's a bad thing. Is that a good thing? I don't think it's also a good thing. I just think it's just a thing, like, okay. Uh-huh. So I feel like the fact that the society, we have literally advanced so much. There's so many other things that we are doing right now. Um, there have been so many changes in who pays what in the household and stuff like that. The fact that there have been all these changes, we should also change. You should also change the aspect when it comes to like who must, oh, men must do this, women must do that. The fact is, right now, the fact that we're even splitting bills in the house, I don't feel like there should be a must. The fact that, like, if you get with this person, you might end up even splitting bills with them. It's not like they're gonna be taking care of you exclusively. So I feel like at the end of the day, it shouldn't be men must or women must. It should be whoever feels the connection first. Okay, I feel like, oh, I feel like I like you. Maybe I can say, you know what, I like you. Okay, so I feel like whoever feels the connection first has to feel the freedom to act on it or to say something. Okay, for example, no one says that he saw the girlfriend on a group and then he felt something, and then that's what you do. You make the you say hi because you felt something about them. Okay, god, this is literally a topic that, oh my god, I think it's so dear to my heart because, like, as I said, as I gave the story, I liked this guy and I didn't tell him because I honestly felt like, but we were, and the problem is it doesn't help, especially when you see each other as family. Okay, in that case we were not really family. It's just like we were having, the whole campus arrangement and stuff. There's a lot of arrangement when it comes to having food and stuff. So for me, it was family. So it's like I wasn't gonna make a move, but also on their part, it was like, I don't know. But you can see. So I think I gave my story to tell you guys that, like, you can decide, oh, I'm not gonna make a fast move, and then maybe you miss out on a good thing. You might not make a fast move, and then it be the best thing that you've ever done, not making the move. Okay. Bob says, now that I think about it, women in my country make the first move. Ooh. They look into your eyes or ask about your girlfriend. You never told them you had a girlfriend. Oh, yeah, okay. Or maybe say stuff like, oh, like your girl, so that you can say, oh, I don't have a girl. Which I feel like most men usually say that they don't have a girl, even if they do. uh, into yes or ask about, yeah. The eyes communicate, like when a woman is really, yeah, the eyes communicate. So I think it's upon you men to read the signals. But anyway, I'm just kidding when it comes to the same. But wow, what a topic. What a topic. Okay. So what would you say, or what would be your parting shot when it comes to this topic? What would you honestly say, like, should all men always make the first move? What would you say in conclusion? Should men always make the first move? How should it be like? Okay, because I feel like at the end of the day, it shouldn't be men must or women must. It should be whoever feels the connection first has the freedom to act on it. If I feel something, I have the freedom to say, like, oh my god, I like you. I like you. If you don't see me that way, then well and good. Goodbye. Have a nice life. But if you do, at least we are not gonna miss out. People are not gonna miss out on each other. Okay, so What would you say in conclusion when it comes to the topic? Okay, guys, welcome to the live. If you just joined in, my good name is Wamboy. I was born and raised in Kenya, and we've been talking about should men always make the first move. And I think we're just winding up right now. We've talked about how like most women have missed out on great men just because you couldn't put your ego down and say hi, or like say, you know what, I really like you. If they say they don't, then well and good, you move on with your life. But I feel like most of us, we just don't want to put ourselves through that. We don't want we don't want to expose ourselves to that type of what is it called, rejection. Okay, so yeah, like, so I feel like the whole conversation have we've talked about a lot of things. I've given my experiences. If you're just joining in, you can listen to the end, but also make sure you listen to this video, like rewatch the video. Thomas says, I would like to mention that we first had to build trust online before we met in Nairobi. Okay, okay, okay. So see, and that's what it is right there. Like you can, it's not love at first sight. You have to first of all build the relationship. And I feel like when it comes to online dating, that's something that people miss. You know, people always say that online dating is a scam, or it's like it's a mess, it's all of these things. But I don't think it is. I just think that people don't understand that like it's possible to like fall in love with someone who is like 1,000 miles away from you. Okay, the fact that most people have never been in that scenario where they have fallen in love with someone who is like so far away from them, they they don't understand. But you, when you build that trust, when you already build the relationship, it's just so easy. It's just so easy for you guys to meet. When you meet, you just feel this love. People don't understand why people kiss at the airport for the first time. It's just because maybe you built the trust. So I'm really happy for you. I'm really happy for you guys, and thank you for sharing your story. Okay. So as I was saying, I think we should all, because the society have advanced, this would literally be my part in short, because the society have advanced, and because we have a lot of things that we are doing right now that people would not usually do, because we have that, I think like we should be more willing to like accept a new society. Okay, we should be more willing to accept a new way of life. We should be more willing to do all of those type of stuff. Okay, and that means compromising. Okay, I don't have to believe in like talking to men at first, but I can tell somebody that I like them. Okay, I shouldn't just wait. So I think the whole topic revolves around like as far as we are gonna be talking about equality, let's also talk about uh, let's also compromise. Okay, because I feel like right now everyone has to compromise. For some women who grow up thinking that like they are gonna find a man who's gonna take care of them, right now it's the opposite. Men are looking for women who have careers. Like you see, Bob is looking for a woman with a career. Okay, so the fact that we've been able to adjust with that, let's also adjust the other way around. I have seen so many men say that like they wouldn't marry a woman with no career because they can't see themselves surviving in a one income household. And I've seen other men say my woman has to stay at home, like she literally have to stay at home and take care of the children. Okay, so we need to compromise even when it comes to this making the first move, because if we can compromise on everything else, how about when it comes to the very thing that brings us together? Okay, the first move. Okay. Ian says hi to you, good to see you, welcome to the live stream. Should men always make the first move? That's what we've been talking about. Should men always make the first move? Should men be always the ones who are saying, okay, you know what, I want us to have a relationship? And but I feel like it's different in different countries. So we've already established that in the Western world, women make move and there's no problem with that. But in African countries, is the other way around. Men have to make move, okay? But I feel like it's because of the patriarchal society. So that's what we've been talking about. We are really winding up. Dawa says, getting to know each other via video call, or even better, looking each other in the eye in person is surely a much nicer way to get acquainted. Okay, yeah. And I think when you fall in love with someone over the video, like for example, for me, I'm in such a I have been in such a scenario, like when you see them in person, you even like them better. Like you're like, okay, yeah, yeah. But you know, something that people don't realize, I don't know if you guys, and I know most men wouldn't watch shows like Love is Blind. When you watch that show, you will when you watch that show, Love is Blind, you realize that like we always focus on the physical aspect, but maybe sometimes the physical aspect is not it. Maybe you should focus on somebody's character, on how you connect with them, how compatible you are, like how you connect on so many other things, like what do you believe in? Do you guys believe in having children? Do you guys want, both of you want children? What type of schools, what types of lifestyle, what type of lifestyle do you want your children to have? What else? Do you want a church wedding? What is your religion? Do you believe in religion? Do you believe in God? Maybe those are the things that people should be looking forward to connecting on. But we are so much I think we are so much stuck with like the physical aspect, like, oh my god, you have to look like this, you have to look like this. Bob says, Wamboi, do you think my future wife isn't on the continent? Oh, on the African continent? What I would say, especially for you who is looking for a woman to take care of you, you might want to look in Europe a little bit. I think you might find exactly that. Okay, but you see what you are referring to as simping. If you decide like your person is not on this continent, when you go to the other continents, they really believe in those things. They really believe in like opening doors and all of those things. They really believe in that. So you gotta get yourself ready to be loving and all of those things, which I think is really amazing. Okay, but do you think, you know, it also comes with like what are you looking for? What's your type? Okay, so you know, do you want African? Do you want, what do you want? Okay, and it doesn't mean when you go to another continent, it doesn't mean that you go for a completely different person. It just means that you go for what you want. You can even find these black people in Germany, there's black people in Australia, there's black people in the UK. And these people, for example, I feel like black people in other places, they are really like those people, not okay. Bob says, ideally I want a rich dark-skinned woman around my age that would fund my lifestyle. Oh my god, I don't know if you can do it. You can, but maybe you might want to look at black people in other continents. Yeah, you can find a black British woman, black American. You can also find a black Caribbean. You can find, there's a lot of black, you know, I think people always say when they see black people, they just think that these people have been to the continent, to the African continent, but there's people who have not been. So I don't know. I don't know. It's entirely up to you what's your type. Oh, but you said black. Yeah, I think maybe you can. But with the whole mindset with African people, but I think it is changing. I don't think you can find your person with your whole specifications of like you want somebody who is providing for you. Ah, Lord. But I honestly, I believe you've been joking this whole time. You've been joking. You've been trying to like. I feel like you've been trying to show the whole thing that women are out here saying, "Oh, I'm looking for a rich man." You're just trying to equalize, but at the end of the day, you gotta be able to provide. When I find, I'll make sure I invite you to the wedding. Okay, I'll be glad to attend to the wedding. Okay, so you guys, let's start shutting down on here. The one says, my girlfriend is Kenyan and I'm German. Love knows no boundary. Wow, I think that's the perfect parting shot. Okay, she's Kenyan and you're German. Love knows no boundary. That's what it is. That's what it is. For example, for me, I'm dating an American and I'm Kenyan, so of course, love knows no boundary. Okay, love knows no boundary, and yeah, love knows no boundary. Like if okay, and I think maybe this was directed to Bob. Yeah, if you really have to go overseas to look for love, do it. Yeah, do it. It will be worth it. It will be worth it. You'll find someone who, and I feel like when it comes to love that you find overseas, you really appreciate it because the moment that your partner flies to you, that's effort right there. That's effort right there. He would have used that money to do anything else, but he chose to fly to you. Okay, that time that you choose to spend, especially FaceTiming every other time, in the middle of the night, FaceTiming, that is time that that person could be sleeping or even scrolling or doing something. So there is also that. So, oh my God, this has been such a nice conversation to have. I wish you could continue having this conversation. So you guys, make sure you keep sharing my content. Oh my God, I just want to reach the 1,000 subscribers. I think we are at, let me check, I think 817 or something. But, oh my God, I hope you're gonna get there eventually. I believe we are. But thank you so much, you guys, for always hanging out with me. And the other day I posted something saying that like seeing people who are supporting you before the world catches up, and the fact that you guys you just bumped on my channel and you like my content, that's really amazing to even think about. It says, as you said, it varies from one society to another, and religion also plays a role depending on the commitment. And that's exactly what it is. Yeah, it varies from one society to another. Religion also plays a role. For example, the way Christians do this type of things, how Christians believe in love, how Christians show up when it comes to love is very different with what Muslims believe in. Okay, but I feel like when you look at African traditional society and you look at most values that Islam have, they align with the African society. But that's why I say that like when you look at it, you when you look at it, religion plays a very major role, society, and so many other things. So you gotta think about like how do you want your situation to look like. Okay, so to the topic, should men always make the first move? What I would say is like I think anybody can make the first move because of course if you're willing to compromise on the other things, gender roles, men are doing house chores right now, women are paying bills in the household. So if you're gonna compromise on that, I think we can compromise on the other aspects. Okay, if we can compromise on the woman paying the bills, we can also compromise on who makes the first move. So I feel like women should be encouraged to like make the first move. If you're watching this video and there's somebody that you like and you want them, make the first move. Okay, it could be a beginning to a good love story or a great love story. So you guys, I think I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow, and make sure you keep watching my shows, keep interacting with what I do. I really appreciate that, you guys. I really appreciate that so much. It really means a lot to me. Okay, so I think we can keep going on this one, but I think let me read to you my parting shot because Of course, you guys know that I usually have my thoughts written down. So at the end of the day, it shouldn't be men must or women must. It should be whoever feels the connection first has to have the freedom to act on it. Whoever feels like, oh, yeah, you know, you're my person, they should be the first one to say. If the other person says no, then well and good, and you guys can decide to end on that note. Okay, so thank you guys for hanging out with me. Oh my god, I wish I could keep going. I wish I could keep. Well, I think one of these fine days I'll like try to do a longer show, like let's say 5 hours. And in that show, I would maybe try to hit 1,000, like have my camera going until I hit 1,000 subscribers. Because honestly, as far as I like doing this, I also want to start reaping the fruits of this because it's been such a journey, but I wouldn't do it any other way. Okay, so thank you guys for hanging out with me, and until next time, bye bye.